Hello and welcome to FPL Neutral. This is Ram and this is the first video on this channel. So thank you so much for watching. I've been playing Fantasy Premier League for 18 years now, and I spend so much time of my day just thinking about my team, thinking about transfers, watching content. So just thought, why not document my team this year on video? So that's why we've started the channel. I've named my channel FPL Neutral just because I actually don't support any particular team in the Premier League. I'm a neutral that way, and sometimes I like to think it helps me with FPL because maybe I don't have any bias towards any particular team, but who knows? I'm not saying I'm an expert in FPL. In fact, I don't have the elusive top 10k finish that so many great content creators out there have, multiple top 10k finishes. But I've been able to generally do well consistently. I'm last 4 years consecutively, I've been in the top 50k, and when I take the combined 4 year rank on Premier Fantasy Tools, I'm in the top 500 in the world. So I'm pretty proud of that. So maybe, of course, top 10k is still the goal, and maybe this year we can do it. And if it happens, it'll be on video. So that'll be great if it happens. And if you want to watch along, definitely subscribe to the channel. So let's jump right in. This video, I'm gonna basically go through a draft, my latest draft, actually a couple of my drafts. I'll give you two options and just go through my thought process of the players I'm looking at and where I'm at. And of course, we're 3 days away from the deadline, so let's see where we can be. So moving on to my current FPL draft. Actually, this was a draft that I had before the weekend's matches, and I think a lot of things have happened over the weekend. And I'll show you another draft that I've made after it. So maybe there's a few knee-jerk reactions there. But let's go through this draft. So starting with the goalkeepers, that's one position which I haven't changed in a while. Robert Sanchez of Chelsea has been in my team right from the start. I think at 5 million, he's good value into that Chelsea defense. And even with Colville's injury, I think Chelsea defense will do well. Sanchez looks to have nailed the spot. He was good in the Club World Cup, so I'm happy to go there. And the other keeper, Dubravka, is an easy choice. It's at 4 million. He's joined Burnley. Looks to be, should be first choice, and that's going to sit in our bench. And whenever we're going to bench boost, I'm not decided on my bench boost yet, but I look to be doing in the first few weeks itself. But Dubravka is an easy buy there. Let's move on to our defense now. And then in defense, I do have the premium option here in Virgil van Dijk. I did want 1 6 million defender at first. I was looking through the options, and I think Virgil van Dijk looked like the safest play there because Liverpool do have a couple of tough fixtures in game week 2 and 3, and they play Newcastle and Arsenal. But I still feel Van Dijk can always come up with a goal once in a while, and Liverpool defense can give you clean sheets. And I think that game week 4 fixture of Burnley and Everton after that, and that's definitely good. So within the 6 million, I wasn't sure about the Arsenal defenders yet. They have tough fixtures to start. Guardiola at City was also a great option, but he's not fit yet because he's not played the last match in the preseason game. Ait Nouri, don't know about the minutes. Cucurella is also a good option, but I just at 1 million cheaper, since I have Sanchez, I thought I'll go with Virgil for this. Then we don't have any 5.5 million defender. We move on to a couple of 5 million defenders here. One is the Forest defense. I think a lot of people have been pretty high on Forest defense this year. And at 5.5, you had the Murillo and Milenkovic options. But like a lot of other people, I've gone for Nico Williams at 0.5 million cheaper at 5 million. Nico Williams should be nailed in that team, and he's also decent for defensive contributions, although not as much as the centre backs. And decent for attacking threat as well. So he's a good option at a good price. Nico Williams into that Forest defense, who have great fixtures to start the season. They have so happy to have that. And then if you can see my first sub, you can see Lacroix from Crystal Palace. I think Palace defense is another place that a lot of people are going at, and there's so much value there at different price points, right? At 5.5, you have the ultra attacking Munoz. You have at 5 million, you have Lacroix, who's good for defensive contributions and has decent goal threat. And at 4.5, you have both Gehi and Richards. Both are nailed in that team, and both are good for defensive contributions. So right now, I've gone for Lacroix at that 5 million price. I think he should be good. I think he was threatening on corners, so hopefully he gets a goal or two. And then I have two 4.5 defenders. I know some people go for the 4 million Esteve from Burnley, but I just like having the flexibility. Generally, I like having a deeper bench. So I have two options at 4.5. That is Van de Ven of Spurs and Anderson of Fulham. Starting with Van de Ven, he's been in most of my drafts. I think Spurs will improve under Thomas Frank this year, and they should be keeping the occasional clean sheets, and they have good fixtures to start the season. I think in the first 9 weeks, 9 game weeks, except the City fixture in game week 2, they have really good fixtures. So happy to have Van de Ven in. Anderson at Fulham. I think Fulham were actually the fifth best defense last year, and he's pretty good for DEFCON potential as well. I think he averaged more than 10 DEFCON contributions in a game last season. So happy to have him at 4.5 on my currently on my bench, but he should be playing every now and then. So that's my defense, and let's move on to midfield. We have Mo Salah in, the king. I think I didn't want to start the season without him. I think it's at 14.5 million. It is pretty expensive, but he's always a captaincy log for most times. But except there are a couple of fixtures, of course, game week 2 and 3. They do have difficult fixtures, but still, I just feel he's going to have another great season, and the new look Liverpool attack with Wirtz coming in, Ekitike coming in. I think Salah is still going to, he's still on penalties. He's still 90 minutes player. He smashed the records last year, so I'm happy to have Salah. Next up is Palmer. I'm, again, not a great end to the season last year, but Palmer has fantastic fixtures. He's still the talisman of that Chelsea team. He's on penalties. I think he's a decent captaincy option in a couple of weeks where Salah might have difficult fixtures. And in that Chelsea attack, he looks to be the most nailed. So happy to have Palmer, and if he doesn't perform, it's an easy out. It's easy to exit these expensive players rather than get to them. So I'm happy to have Palmer as well. Now, the big pick in this draft is actually Bruno Fernandes there. So Bruno Fernandes at 9 million is not cheap. But although they have some tough fixtures, I think Bruno Fernandes is just built for FPL, and he has so many routes to points. Because in addition to the attacking threats he's always had, the penalties he's always had, he's also really good for defensive contributions. He's averaged close to 12 in a game per 90 last year, and that's what you need to get those 2 points. So I think even with a deeper role in the game, maybe he's gonna play 90 minutes, and with an improved United attack with Bumo and Sesko and Cunha, and Bruno is still going to be great in that team. So he's the big punt in my team right now, so that's good. Spoiler alert, in my second draft he's not there, but I'm definitely tempted by Bruno in the team. Of course, to have these expensive options, I have a couple of smaller, cheaper options there. I think at 6.5, I have Ismaila Sarr of Crystal Palace. The Palace attack looks good. They just won the Community Shield, and he scored. Ismaila Sarr scored again, so his underlying numbers are great at 6.5. I think at that price, I think he's my favorite option. And of course, Mateta looks to be on penalties. Eze looks to be the talisman, but 1 million cheaper than both of them. Sarr, I'm happy to have. Then Elliot Anderson at 5.5. I think there's a lot of value at 5.5 this year in FPL. I think plenty of good options, and I think Anderson is a bit of the boring pick, but I think going to do have great. He's not gonna give you a lot of goals, but he should be on set pieces, so could be coming in with a few assists. But the main thing, his defensive contribution numbers are off the charts. He would have got 36 points last year if the defensive contributions are in place. I think he averages close to 15 contributions a game, and that's massive. So he's gonna trickle along. It's not gonna be huge hauls, but it's gonna get those 4-5 pointers regularly. So I'm happy to have Elliot Anderson in. So that's my midfield. Now moving up front, I think another player who's been in pretty much all my drafts recently, at least, has been Watkins at 9 million. He's my premium forward, you could say. I think Villa have a great start to the season fixtures wise, and he's again the talisman of that team, and he's nailed because there's no options. Like Rashford is gone, Duran is gone, so I think Watkins I'm happy to have. Hopefully he has penalties. I'm not sure because Tielemans could take it, because last year it was Rashford and Asensio were taking it. But hopefully if Watkins has penalties, that ups his potential even more. So happy to have him. Next up is Strand Larsen of Wolves. One thing this draft is missing is those 7-8 million sort of strikers, but I think at 6.5 and below, I think Strand Larsen is the best option. He should be on penalties for Wolves. He did really well even in Cunha's absence last year. And they have great fixtures. Although the opening fixture is Man City, they do face all three promoted teams in the first 9 weeks, I think. So I'm happy to have Strand Larsen as well. And of course, my third striker is a bench fodder, Mark Guiu, freshly joined Sunderland from Chelsea, 4.5 million. We're not sure if he's going to get minutes. He's not got any minutes in preseason yet. So, but at 4.5 million, I don't see anybody else getting minutes. So, he's mostly going to sit on our bench. So, I'm okay with Mark Guiu. So, this is my current draft. Actually, not current draft. This was one of the drafts. It was actually made before the weekend. Now let's look at another draft that I've made after the weekend. And I think by the deadline, I feel I'm going to be somewhere in between these two drafts. So okay, here's the other draft. Now I'll just show you who are fixed, who are the common ones in both. Sanchez and Dubravka are still in goal. I have Van de Ven and Anderson as the two 4.5 options still in defense. I have Salah, Palmer, Anderson in midfield. I still have Watkins and Strand Larsen up front. Now, these are the common ones. Now, where have I changed? Now, one the 6 million price point that I had of Virgil van Dijk, I think there is there is logic in swerving that price point because Liverpool do have tough fixtures. They haven't looked as solid in defense even in the Community Shield, and I feel there is value in the cheaper defenders as well. So right now I've downgraded Van Dijk to Munoz. I think Munoz was one of the great options. I was the one I was really missing him in the earlier draft, and one of the best attacking threats in the game. So happy to have Munoz at 5.5. So that means I didn't want two Palace defense, so I've downgraded Lacroix from 5 to another 4.5 option. I right now have Dorgu of Man United. He was also looking really attacking in that left wing back position, so hopefully he can get some attacking returns. Not the best of fixtures, but still can be rotated in with the other 4.5 options as well. Now in midfield, where have I made the change? I have downgraded Bruno Fernandes to, right now it's Gakpo on the team. I think Gakpo, although there is a slight minutes risk, but I feel to start the season there is no other competition in that left wing, and he's scored goals in preseason. I think he's nailed in that team. I know Florian Wirtz is the player that a lot of people are going for. He's 1 million more expensive, of course, and he could smash the league with the record signing that he's come in. But I think Gakpo's a really good player. I like the player. I think Slot rates him. I think he's part of that first choice 11 right now, unless Liverpool sign a left winger. So I like Gakpo at 7.5. I think he's going to get goals there. So with that downgrade, what I've done is basically I've got another striker. So I've upgraded the dud 4.5 striker Mark Guiu that I had. Now I now have 3 full strikers, and I have actually gotten in that 7.5 million striker position. Right now you can see it's Mateta on the team. But it could be somebody, it could be João Pedro maybe. So I like that 7.5 bracket because there's so many options there later down the line. If even Chesko's come in at 7.5, there's Solanke at 7.5, Visa at 7.5. So Chris Wood, all that. So I like that. I like having 3 strikers I can play around with. I like having a deep bench basically. So I didn't want a dud 4.5 million striker. So that I really like Mateta. He's on penalties. He scored 2 penalties in the Community Shield. So I like having that route into the Palace attack instead of Saar, which was there in the earlier draft. So now to get to that, I've made one more downgrade. I think from Saar at 6.5, we've gone down to Reinders at Man City at 5.5. I think he's also somebody which I feel could make a mockery of that 5.5 million bracket, because he might play deep, but he's known to be a goal scorer. He's scored more than 10 goals for AC Milan last year. So I think he's going to come in with at least a few goals now and then. So I think I'm okay rotating between Anderson and Reinders here. So at 5.5, we have him there. And that's it. That's the few changes that I have in my draft. Of course, I've upgraded Nico Williams. I had 0.5 left, so I upgraded Nico Williams to Milenkovic. That could be Murillo also. But I like that Forest upgrade, I would say, because I think they are upgrades, because I think they are defensive contributions monsters. So I'm happy to have the two 5.5 million options in Milankovic and Munoz. So this is my other draft. So I think by the end of deadline, I think we could see a few changes. Of course, there's so many thoughts are wandering. So hopefully I can upload one more video with my latest draft by the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching, and follow along for the ride.